people always ask, like, how did you do it? Like, how did you jump from diamond to double and double to triple? And like, because I kind of feel like that's when it starts. Like, you have to be like really intentional with those because you're getting into like leadership and really starting to lead a team and stuff like that. And honestly, you guys, like for me, it was kind of, and this sounds so like silly simple, but like I just felt it. It was almost like I woke up one day and I was like, it's happening. Like this is the month that it's happening. And it's like the stars aligned and I was just like doing the work. I was believing in myself and everything just fell into place how it was supposed to. And so what I wanted to do is just get some other leaders on here who, because like for me, like looking back at my promotions, I don't know that I had like a super massive volume jump, but obviously going from triple to pres, I'm going to have a dang massive volume jump. Okay. And so for me, I've kind of been sitting like, how am I going to do this? Like, where's it going to come from? Like, where do I need to be giving my attention? And so, like, this is obviously like for myself, but also I know that there's girls on my team who need this. And if y'all have, other girls that are on your team that are on here, hopefully this can add some value to their business. I'm also going to post the recording so that we can share this with everybody, but we're just going to jump in and get started. So I'm going to start with Gabriella. There you go. Okay. I'm going to unmute you.
Hi
And
guys.
hello. Okay, so just tell us, like who you are, rank, and then like give your best tips for like bringing in these large amounts of volume.
Okay, so I'm Gabby. I am a triple diamond. My biggest tip, so I think that there's a lot that goes into a promotion period. Like it's not just that you can, you really just struck me when you said I never like saw the huge volume jump, but obviously to get from rank to rank is like something that I feel like we all don't really like think that much into that like it is hard to get to rank from rank, but we overcomplicate it sometimes, I think, because we're so intimidated by it. When really, like, if you're thinking about it, it is just like volume is just a number. And I think that that is like one of the biggest things that I had to realize from going diamond to double to triple. It's volume is a number, okay? When you're looking at a number, it should not be like earth shattering, I feel like I'm falling apart type of deal, because I feel like you already put like the enemy in your head at that point. Like if you are already describing this huge mountain, like it's going to be such a hard thing to get up and get over. Instead of just viewing it as like, okay, this is what I need and this is how I'm gonna do it. Like a speed bump kind of. That's how I've like really transitioned my thinking, because I was like manifesting this huge mountain and like how difficult it was to be getting over it and how am I going to do it? Who's going to help me and stuff like that. But it's not a mountain. It's literally just on your path. It's just a speed bump. There's speed bumps everywhere in the road, right? Like you don't see mountains everywhere in the road, but you see speed bumps. So that is what I think was huge for me for bringing in volume. I am such a typical red. Like I want to just do everything by myself, just go full speed ahead. I'm like, okay, they're not working. I'm just going to do it. I'm going to get it done. That's fine. But you like if you are pushing for huge, I think diamond was the last time that like you could really do your promotion by yourself. I feel like diamond is when you have an emerald and a ruby, and I feel like at that point you're like, okay, I need 8,000 volume, 10,000 to maintain. I could do this. Like I'm capable of doing it. I have one or two people working. But one or two people working is not going to get you to double. It's not going to get you to triple. It's really not going to get you further than that. Like you need a team who's going to stand by you, and there is no like time frame on that. Is I think the hardest thing I had to understand. I didn't have my blinders on, and I was like, there's all these people who have so many working legs and everybody's helping them, and why can't that be me? But like it just wasn't my time yet. You can't rush a team, or you can't rush someone to want it who doesn't yet. You can only try and find someone else. So first and foremost, you need a working team. And how to do that is like by being a leader. If you're looking at your chart right now and you're like, wow, not a single person works, you have to enroll someone else. Like you have to. You cannot stare at that chart and think that magically they're going to come alive. Maybe down the road they're going to see a paycheck because they've been commission qualified and they're like, wow, that $200 really helped. Maybe I'll come back and enroll 3 customers like a month. That's not going to get you to triple. That is not. So what you have to do is new blood. Anytime that someone says to me, like, I just feel like my business is so stagnant, I just don't know, new distributors, guys, new, okay? Like, I think that we preach so heavily on new customers because you want the volume from it, right? Because the volume is what fills the boxes. But what if you had new distributors helping you fill their boxes already? You didn't even have to worry about them. The solution will always be new DTs. And how I am big on enrolling distributors is I don't miss a single day of posting about now hiring. I do not like life post every single day. I'm not Monday through Sunday, every single day life posting, but I do life post multiple times a week. But there will never be a day that I do not have a now hiring on my story. And I think that what's worked really well for me is I will post first thing in the morning, like I'll make my keto coffee on the slides and stuff, and then I'll post it now hiring. And I always post one before bed because I feel like people are on their phones laying in bed. It's been a long day. Maybe they spent money that they didn't have that day, or maybe they're just really contemplating and thinking. Before bed at like midnight, I always get people swiping up on my story like, okay, I'm interested. Can I have some info? And I don't know why that is, but I hope that works for you guys as well. But new blood is always, always the answer. Post to post, also the answer. I was getting so frustrated because I was sending out 100 cold messages and I was constantly following new people and posting and doing all the things. And I was like, why is my phone still dry? Like, why are there not new people in my phone blowing me up, wanting to join or the products? And I was like, I just need to expand my network even more. And I know that everybody gets blocked on things and it's a never ending cycle. So host to post is a huge, like it is such a game changer. And I think that we don't really think that far into it because everybody's like, no, what I have to do is cold message. No, what you have to do is both. You have to work host to post just as hard as you work cold messaging. Like they are synonymous together. It's not cold messaging or host to post, it's cold messaging and host to post every single day. And it doesn't matter if like one day you don't get the responses from host to post. There's one day that you're not going to get the same responses from cold messaging, but you still work them equally just as hard. Host to post, I feel, has literally taken my business to, I don't know, like it's so incredibly easy too. And how my team does it is we usually do a huge giveaway each month. So whether it's like $1,000 cash, $1,000 Amazon, whatever it is, and we will post about that throughout the month. I think you guys literally do the same thing, but we also message for host to post. And I think that that has been a huge game changer because of Instagram algorithms. So only 5% of your followers really see your posts daily. My boyfriend does social media marketing and he's constantly like breaking down the algorithms for me and teaching me stuff because I was like, I have all these followers and why don't things match up here? And it's just the algorithms. So if only 5% of your followers are seeing your post, they're not going to see your one post once a month about your HAP giveaway. You need to be reaching out. So HAP messaging was a huge game changer for me. People were like, no, I didn't even see it, but I'm going to go look now. So HAP and new distributors, two big things. Also just realizing that like volume is just a number. And I literally pray over my team every single day. You are not like if you want to go somewhere far, you cannot go alone. If you want to go fast, go ahead, fill up your chart, do it yourself. It's not going to last. It's going to fall apart because you are one person. I literally am going to be super transparent. I had to like in one of my promotions, I was building a chart and I was the only person working on a diamond chart and it all fell apart. And that was because it was just me working. Like, how can I expect myself to maintain 8,000 in volume every single month for not a single person working on there? So what did I do? I built a different chart and literally now everybody works and it's amazing. And I don't feel like this burden of, oh my goodness, I have to keep doing this. Like, don't take the fun out of what you do, guys, because what we do actually is really fun. And I feel like it's so amazing. We're so blessed to have this opportunity to even be home working business like that or on the go, wherever it is that you work your business. What was the last thing that you had said? My experience with this. Yes, bringing in huge volume. When I went triple at the beginning of the month, I needed like 13,000 volume. And what literally, and even now going pres, like I haven't even done projected yet because I was like, I need to be in a more calm mental state before I go and do this right now. But what really like, I just lost my train of thought. 13,000 volume, yes. Being a leader is what's also going to get you a huge response. You can every day wake up and be like, I need 13,000 volume. This is what I have to do. I have to enroll 10 customers today. But if you are not preaching to your girls, if you are not filling their cups, you're going to be the only one enrolling and you're never going to get to that promotion. So I feel like that's kind of repetitive, but what I was saying before, but like really being a leader is so huge. Pouring into your girls, figuring out what they need. When I was forming my push chat, because my team and I have a push chat, I said to each of them, I said, what do you need more of from me this month? Because not everybody is typical 1, 2, and 3, right? We all know the different color personalities and stuff, but even more than that, like get to know your team. You're here to help make money with them. You're not here just for your own paycheck. And I think that that's a huge mindset shift that we all need to have. Obviously, at the end of the day, we want to be making a ton of money and taking care of our family and doing all the things, but you have to also remember that you have so many individuals on your team who joined for the same exact reason. And if you can't help them, you're not going to help yourself. Like our compensation plan, you will not succeed if your team doesn't succeed with you. So however you feel like you need to be a better leader, like needs to happen. I asked everybody what you need more of. Girls were telling me they need more power hours. They need more question and like Q&A Zooms that I'll do once in a while if I feel like everybody has a bunch of questions. There was a lot of different things. And I was like, I would have never thought about this because I know what I need. I'm like so red, so straightforward. I'm like, give me quiet space and I'm good. I got this. But like people need interaction and like human interaction and stuff like that, which I would never know because it's not what I need. But I'm here for my team. And I think that that was such a huge force. Like you need to have people rally around you. It is not like a sprint, it's a marathon. You have the entire month. But knowing that volume is just a number, you are so capable. Like, I don't ever want to hear anybody say, well, like, I can't do it because I'm just me. Like, I don't know why God chose me to do the things that he does, but I am here for it. Like, I'm like, keep giving it to me. I got it. I could do this because I believe in myself, and every single one of you should believe in yourselves as well. Volume is just a number. You can change every single life, the world, whatever you want to do, because you are just as special as the person next to you. And I think that was all I really had to say. But like, get hype, guys. Like, you have the best thing going for you right now. Once you believe that, you are going to see the way that unfolds within your business tenfold. Like, nobody's going to be able to put out your fire. No obstacle, no person, no negative comment, anything. Because when you have those blinders on, you just go. Like you, Carly, like what you said, you know, when it's your month, you're like, we got this. We could absolutely do it no matter what comes in your way.
Yes, I love that. And I just got back, so I went. My church had this thing tonight. They had like a magician illusionist, and he like tells his story like through him, but like also like what God's done in his life. And he was talking about how each of us, like they're like snowflakes. There's no snowflake that's ever like all snowflakes are different, and they're all made so uniquely and so different. And that's exactly how all of us are. Like we are all unique. There's no two people that are exactly alike. Like even twins, like they have different personalities, they have different interests. Like nobody is exactly the same. And he was talking about how like inside of all of us there's something magical inside of you, and like God put it there for a reason. So like just unlock it and like use it. And so like you saying that just reminded me of that. And then you said something about like building fast, and I don't remember where I heard this. It might have been a podcast or something, but they said like if you build something fast you lose it just as fast, or it falls just as fast. And it's like, you know, think about a house. If you're building a house, like if your house is thrown up like in 1 month, do you think that it's going to like lasting, or is it going to it's probably going to fall, right? You might have like things not work out, cracks, whatever, because you built it so fast so it's not as strong and sturdy. And so like remember that within this business, you guys, and don't look left or right, keep going forward. Because I went diamond in 4 months, yeah, but then it took me a whole year to go double. Okay. And so like you never know when it's going to be your time to shine and when you're just going to like fly. And you said something about, you know, when you went diamond, your team wasn't working. And I was like, oh my gosh, me too. Because I went diamond, and the girl who went ruby, I promoted her to ruby 3 different times before I went diamond. My emerald, maybe the entire time, like in the entire 4 months, because she joined me in my first month of the business, she probably only signed 7 customers in the whole 4 months. And so it was literally me, like, I wanted it so bad because that $10,000 bonus was on the table, and I just saw $2,000 a month, and like the struggle that my family was in. I was like, that is what I need, and that is what I want. And I just freaking did it, you guys. But you know, I built it myself, and guess what? That next month, I lost it because I didn't have those leaders. I didn't have the people who wanted it like I did and who were willing to like pour themselves into their business the way that I was. And so I remember sitting there and I was so crushed because I was like, I literally just busted my butt for the last 4 months to get here and now it's gone. Like, what do I do now? And I just literally, like, I still have my first diamond chart. I kept it in my binder. Just, I like going back and looking at things. But I got out a blank diamond chart and I recharted. And that second diamond chart, I found my leaders, and she's still here with me today. She's like my main leader on my team. And, that's like God's going to bring people into your life at the right time. And something that it's almost in like every single, like every Zoom that I'm on, someone says it, or every podcast I'm listening to, it's about seasons in your life. And people come into this business. Some are seasonal and some are going to go with you to the top. And so you always have to like remember that as well. And then you said, you're not here for your own paycheck. Like, you're here because you have like girls under you. And I like wrote that down because that is so huge. Because I've been saying, the Carly who went triple is not the Carly who's going to go prez. I've had to grow so much, like as a leader, like across the board, I've had to grow, because, and that's what you're going to find is every single, and I said this, I think I was on a Zoom last night and I said this, but like, every promotion, you're at the mountaintop, right? It feels good. You did the dang thing. But then to get to that next mountaintop, guess what you're going to have to go through? Some kind of valley. I don't know what it's going to be, but you're going to go through some valley. And that valley that you go through between each promotion is going to grow you to reach that next rank. And so you have to constantly be growing in this business and just expanding yourself to reach those higher ranks. Okay. And so, and that was me because I did diamond or to diamond by myself. And then to double, I had leaders. And then we gained a few more leaders and we went triple. Right. And so like, we're gaining even more leaders and we're going to go prez. We're going to gain even more. We're going to go ambassador. Like, that's just how this business works. But nobody joined this business, you guys, to be a 400 box. Right. Like, did you join to just be thrown on a chart somewhere and just sit there like, okay, wow, I'm at 400 now. Like, now what do I do? And then your enroller like never talks to you again. No, you joined because you saw something in that person that you joined, and you put your trust and your faith in that person that you joined, that they're going to help you get to where they are, And so when I joined, Courtney Bohr enrolled me. She was an ambassador diamond. And I was like, $30,000 a month sounds great. That's kind of crazy, but I want to be there. And she literally, like, this is what I do. And so I'm really big on my team. Like, I have a toolbox, right? Have my It Works toolbox, and every tool that's in my toolbox, it's given to my team. And I let them know, this is how I use this tool. Now it's on you. If you want to use it, use it. If not, that's on you, okay? But I just loved everything that you just said. So thank you for sharing all of those tips. Okay, now we're going to go to Danny. Let me find you. Okay, I unmuted you.
Oh no, of course, Lucy starts barking the second you unmute me. Sorry. Oh my gosh, Lucy, hang on. I'm such a hot mess. My Wi-Fi is really bad, so I have to be on my phone. So let me just put this dog. Lou, go downstairs. Go see Daddy. We're good. Okay. Sorry. This is going to be probably a struggle for me, but okay. Hi guys, my name is Danielle. I'm 25 and I'm a presidential diamond. I'm going to try to get my phone to stay propped up. Okay, and the dog's back. Anyways, okay. So, just like a little story. So June 1st, 2018, I had just gotten back from Thailand, and I actually had just moved into our last townhouse. And I don't know why, I don't know what came over me, but something just said, like when I woke up, I was like, I'm going triple this month. Like, I don't know. I'm just doing it. Like, my diamond was built. And then just like another little background, I have 2 legs. One is a presidential and one is a double diamond. So those were 2 legs I didn't really have to worry about. So I just built my diamond leg and just ran with that one leg. So I just was like, okay, it's happening. I'm doing it. Like, I don't care what I have to do, but it's happening. And I just put my head down that entire month, and I ended up only needing, I think, like about 5,000 in volume, which is still a lot of volume. And I did it pretty much all myself. I think I promoted like 6 people. I had some help, like probably, I don't know, an extra like 1,000 or 2 BV, just from like random people's enrollments. But the majority of it was all myself. And I just had decided at the beginning of that month that it was happening. Like, I don't care what I would trade. I don't know. I would sell my soul to the freaking devil to get that $15,000 bonus and that $10,000 paycheck. And when I hit that promotion, it felt so good because I had worked my butt off the entire month. Like, June is always such a crazy month for me. It's my birthday, and then we were moving, and I don't know, just so much goes on in June. It's Father's Day, just a ton of stuff. And I'm always like running around. When I used to work like full-time jobs, I would like take off so many days because I was always so busy, but somehow I managed to still work my business. I went to the pool every single day and I was signing like 4 customers a day. Like I swear there were like 150 BB orders and I was just on a mission. So I guess my biggest tip would be this is what everybody says, just decide to do it. Like there has to be like that switch that flips in your mind. And sorry, I have to keep shutting the door. And you just have to just do it. Like it doesn't matter if you're 5,000 BV away, 1,000 or like 60,000, like who cares? Just decide that you're going to do it. Get all the people that you need to be working and to be enrolling with you, get them on board and be like, okay, what is like Ruby going to do for you? Is, that's an extra $500 a month almost. Like what's that going to do for your family? And kind of help them see the vision. Because again, like this is not only about you, it's about them. And like, yeah, I did that whole thing myself, but that diamond like completely fell apart. I never lost rank, but it took me 9 months to go presidential. And had that one diamond done maintaining, I would have gone pres the second they changed the comp plan. But no one was working. No one really like saw the vision as like well as I did. So I had to build a completely new diamond leg. And when I went pres, I had a nice, strong diamond leg. Like everybody works, and that leg is just exploding right now because everybody has a vision. Everybody's just like ready to rock and roll. And they know where they want to go. They see where I've been and what I've done. And, they just want that money to change their lives, and they know it's possible. So, honestly, I just say you need to decide to do it, and just, it doesn't matter. Stay up. I used to stay up until I swear like 3 a.m. I would wake up at like 7 a.m. to drop my boyfriend off at the train, and I would come back, sit in bed and message for hours. Like all I remember doing the month of June was literally messaging and just sitting. The days that I didn't go to the pool, I would sit on our couch in the living room with like hunched over with my notebook spread out on our small coffee table with my volume, and I would update volume every single LC I had. I updated volume literally anytime someone else got a customer, anytime someone got a distributor, like my charts were updated so perfectly. So make sure you know your charts. Make sure you have an exact number. I know sometimes in eSuite, like it's like, whatever your volume is, and then there's like 0.33 or whatever. I don't know how that happens, but even if you need those, like, I'm going to call them cents because it's like $1 in my head. My phone keeps falling, so I'm sorry, but have those like literally everything down to a T. I don't care if you need 4,973.12, like know it exactly, because you need to get that done before the end of the month, or you're not going to promote. If you're down that 0.12 BV, it ain't happening. Okay. So you just have to, my iPad's going off. Just know everything. Okay. You have to know what's going on in your entire team as well. Like you cannot, like, I feel like a lot of us, yeah, you can pop a diamond by yourself. You can go diamond by yourself, but if no one else is working, it's going to fall apart. And that's happened to me. It happened to Carly. Like it happens to everybody, because we get in over our heads, and then you see the volume for the following month when you have to maintain, and you see, customers falling off, and you're seeing 150 BB orders that are dropping down to 30 BB auto ships. I totally forgot where I was going with that thought, but you just can't do it by yourself. Like as much as like if you are a math enroller, I don't care if you enroll 10,000 BB a month, you can't do it. It's so hard to maintain that. So just trying to like keep my phone up. I seriously forgot where I was going with that. But honestly, just know where everyone is. Keep your team in line. Like make sure they're doing all the things that you're doing. Make sure you lead from the front. If you're not enrolling, your team is going to know that, and they're not going to be enrolling if you're not enrolling. Like, hello, it's just like a given. That's just you need to enroll. So yeah, I feel like that's all I have.
No, I love that. I like how you said, like working from wherever, because I feel like, a lot of the times, and I'm guilty of this, I'll be like, oh, well, like I'm busy, or I'm on the go, or I'm doing this, or I'm doing that. And guys, like, and for some reason, like I just flash back to like, Christmas is coming up. So we're all going to be like busy shopping some days, right? Like, don't let, oh, well, I'm out Christmas shopping today. Don't let that be an excuse for you to like pause your business, because guess what? You could drive, because the mall that I shop to, so it's in Frisco, Texas, it's like 45 minutes from where I live, if that. Okay. So I know that for 45 minutes, I'm not going to be messaging, right? So before I leave, let's send, some messages. Let's plant some of those seeds and then get those responses in my inbox. Okay. Get to the mall. You guys, if you use text replacement, it literally can take you like I think it took me like 12 minutes one time to send like 176 messages. Okay. So imagine you get to the mall and it's like, okay, I'm here. Let's respond to some of these and let's send 60 more. Okay. And then you're in the mall and you're doing whatever. Go get yourself a dang coffee from wherever and just like sit down at like what's it called? The like, I just went
Food court.
food court, yeah, and just sit there and like drink some coffee and send some more messages. Okay, and, like we're all guilty of that, right? We all just like, oh, I'm too busy. I'll put this off. I'll put that off. And I even do that sometimes. Like with my kids, I'm like, oh my gosh, like have I paid attention to you today? Like, do you need to eat? And then I'm like, okay, but still, like this business is made to work with us, not against us, and it fits any schedule, any lifestyle, wherever you're fitting it in. Okay. And then, you were saying like you're sitting there messaging, and like it just popped in my head, like massive action equals massive results, you guys. And I've been listening to the 10X rule by Grant Cardone. And if you have not listened to that or read that book, I'm giving you homework. Go and get that book or get the audio book. I got it on Audible for free. I signed it on my Amazon account. It gave me 2 free credits. I got that book for free. It's literally in the last 2 days that I've been listening to it. I'm on chapter 9. I have 4 hours left in the 7-hour book. It's blown my mind, okay? And I have planted so many seeds. I have so many conversations going, and it's only the second day of the month. And I'm like, like I'm about to do some big things this month because I'm 10Xing it, and I'm just doing the most. And know where you're going and updating volume. That's literally what I did. Like I remember every single time it gets down to like promotion, and I just feel that feeling like it's happening, I sit down because I'm a huge pen and paper kind of person. I had an iPad once, you guys, and I took it back. Like I see you on your iPad. Like I could not deal with it. Like it's stressful.
Like my life.
I can't. I had it to chart and like to be easy, and I got the like fancy planner that Jade had, and I was like, this is complicated, and I literally took it back. And I was like, I'm going back to my notebook, like and pen, and this is what I do. Like I just have a dang spiral and a pen, and this is my business, and I have a binder.
That's amazing.
Like an actual calendar, but know where you're going. And what I would do is I would literally look at each box on my chart, and I would say, okay, and then I'd go to them and their name in TreeViewer, and I'd pull up any of their orders that they had, all their customer orders, and I'd sit there and I'd add the volume up every single day, and I had a list of like each volume written down, and I'd highlight where it was ending, and then if I signed it, I'd write that number down, highlight it, and circle it to where their volume was. So I knew at all times where everyone's volume was. If an order didn't go through, I knew the second it didn't go through. I went to that person, messaged them, and if they weren't going to place that order, I found a new customer to compensate it for it. But when it comes down to promotion, you have to get serious and you have to look at it like, I'm not letting, like, no is not an option. You're either going to place your order or I'm just going to, get somebody else to do this. Okay. So take control of your business. And you, at the Dallas event, you shared some amazing personal development tips on your fancy note cards. Literally, you guys and Shay was like telling, like Shay had me on like the panel, and I'm like, okay. And I hadn't prepared because I didn't know it was supposed to be like some fancy prepared thing. And she shows up with note cards, and I'm like, am I supposed to have something like written and prepared? And everybody's like, just wing it. And I was like, okay, fine. But you shared some awesome personal development tips. And so I think that a lot of, going for a promotion and just deciding to do it, it also ties into personal development and your mindset and your beliefs. So like, will you just like kind of touch on that for a hot second? Just like,
yeah.
Feel?
Yep. So, basically at our Dallas Try It a few weeks ago, I really mainly talked about like one book that really helps me. And that was actually the book that I was listening to the entire month that I promoted. Also, the 10X rule is one of my favorites. I listen to it probably once every 2 months. Like if I really need a good like kick in the butt, I'm like, oh my God, I need to do 10X everything. And I spaz out and it's amazing. But the 5-second rule. Okay. That's like my favorite book. It was like one of the first ones that I ever listened to. And basically, if you guys don't know what the 5-second rule is, it's, you have to trick your mind. Like if you have a thought or like a goal in your head, you have 5 seconds before your mind will kill that goal. So, if you're like, oh, I need to send messages, you literally count backwards from 5. So you go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you have to physically get up and move from where you are. So if I was like sitting on my phone, like scrolling Instagram on my couch or in my bed, I would literally be like, I'm being useless. And I'd go, okay, Danny, like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I would literally like stand up and like walk across the room, get out of that room, go somewhere else. And then I would start messaging. So I used that a lot in the month of like when I went triple, because I just knew, hi Lou, that I couldn't just be sitting around like doing nothing. And like we all get trapped in those rabbit holes of like scrolling Instagram, and then all of a sudden you're on your like best friend's ex-boyfriend's sister's cousin's dog's Instagram, and you're 30 weeks deep and you're doing nothing. And so you got to just like, I don't know, just count backwards from 5 and get back into being productive. Because otherwise like that will just ruin your month. I knew that if I got distracted, like I would not been able to have enrolled as much volume as I did. And then just overall, like listening to something, like every time I'm messaging, anytime I'm calculating volume, always listening to some type of self-development. Because I found that when I'm not self-developing and I'm not growing my mind, like I'm literally like useless. I don't know, my mindset goes just like straight down the sewer, and it's not good. So you guys definitely need to be listening to self-development. You need to be growing your mind. I used an analogy that I have to like remember it correctly. It's called The Law of the Rubber Band by John C. Maxwell. It's in his 15 Laws of Irrefutable Growth, I think it is. And basically he says, I don't remember exactly, but I basically compared our mindset to a rubber band, and like we can stretch ourselves, but like if you're not growing, like a rubber band is useless if you're not stretching it, right? So that's the same as your mind. Like if you haven't been growing your mind, even like think of a child, like a child has to grow their mind every single day in order to learn, in order to become like a normal person. So if they're not stretching their mind, they're obviously not going to learn. Same with us. Like if we're not self-developing, if we are just sitting here like, I don't know, being, I don't know, ourselves, like not doing anything, we're not going to grow. So honestly, just like think of that whenever you think of a rubber band and be like, oh my God, I'm not growing my mind. And then just put out some self-development, use the 5-second rule. I don't know.
I love that. When you were talking about the rubber band at the event, I was like, but it's just like so simple, but it like literally, I was like that.
Yeah. It's amazing.
I love it. Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing the tips. Okay.
You're welcome.
Go to Kirsten. There she is. Uh-oh. Okay. You're unmuted.
Hi.
Hello. We were talking and she has blown my mind with what she's going to share. Like, I'm like, okay, I'm ready for it. So, pen and I'm going to take notes.
Okay. So, my name's Kirsten. I'm a triple diamond. I've been in this business almost 5 years. And I just wanted to like talk a second, because one of the biggest months that we had was back in 2016. And I was actually pushing my husband to go double. I was already double. I was pushing my husband to go double. And that month, we'd gone to conference, and my husband and I actually, and they had announced bonuses and everything at conference. And this was before they changed the comp plan. This was before they changed the charts, everything. This is the old charts, you guys. Okay. So, but I had a few people on my team. They're like, okay, I'm doing this. Like, I have to do this. And that month we brought in over 43 promotions, and I had 6 new diamonds and above pop that month. It was ridiculous. We brought in about 30,000 in volume. And honestly, like it blew my mind. Like I had a girl go triple, I was double, I had my husband go double. I had a couple other people go double, a couple people go diamond. It was just astounding. And it was in February, so it was actually a shorter month too. But like the beginning of that month, like we just got home from conference and we just decided. And just like, the other girls that, you just have to decide. You just have to decide, this is what I'm going to do. And I'm not going to be afraid of it. I'm not going to be intimidated by it. I'm just going to walk confidently in what it is that I'm going to do. And I'm just going to do the dang thing. And so we got all of our team together. We knew who was going to promote to what. We knew the volume that we needed. And we updated that volume every single day, just like Daniel was saying. we knew what everybody needed every single day that month. And ironically, even in the middle of that month, life hit my husband and I hard. My cousin actually got into a very life-altering car accident, and we thought she was going to die. Okay. It was really bad. My team is still pushing for promotions at this point. Like, we were still pushing really hard, and we had this crazy like life stuff happen. We found out my husband and I had to move out of where we were at and we had to find an apartment. So we had a lot of stuff going on, and a lot of like devil trying to throw us off our axis, but we had just decided that we were going to make it happen no matter what. And that included like life happening. That included like scrambling to find an apartment. That included being at the hospital like for a solid week and being with my family and trying to figure out what was going on and all of that. Like, we just knew where we were going, and we just decided. And I can tell you guys this right now, that if you don't believe it's going to happen, it won't, period. It doesn't matter how much volume you bring in. If you don't believe in your mind, if you don't have it set in your mind, this is happening and this is happening this month, and you're driving that because you're your team's pace car, right? Like, you're the one that is setting the tone, you're setting the environment, the culture, everything for your team. So if you're not pacing your team by setting the example, setting up the energy and all of that, it's just not going to happen. And so it starts with you. It starts with what you want. It starts with where you're going, and then you breathe that life into your team, and you help them come to that place of believing themselves. And I had a lot of people that were like going Ruby, going Emerald, and at the very beginning of the month they were paid as a distributor, or like weren't even commission qualified at all the month before. And it just became this huge, like, you need to find a good place of unity in your team. There has to be unity in your team. Everybody needs to know what everybody's doing. You're all cheering each other on because you're a family, you're a unit, right? You're not just, everybody's not going for their own specific thing. You guys are going for all of it together. So cheering each other on and knowing where everybody is at and updating volume and everything, even if you have to go live every single day in your team page and be like, all right guys, so this is the amount of volume that we need. This is how much volume came in overnight. This is in, and just kind of keep up and going with that. It's going to set fire throughout your entire team, because they're just going to want to keep seeing that number go down, because you just get to a point where it's like, okay guys, like, we need 2,000 in volume. We've got a week left. Like, let's do this. And I'm like, okay, well, that 2,000 volume means I can go from Ruby to Diamond. That 2,000 volume means I can do this or that. So it's really just that energy, that high energy, and just believing it from the get-go. Like, this is the second, right? So if you're planning on promoting this month, believe it right now that come November 30th, that promotion is going to be in your hands. And just envision what that's going to feel like. Envision seeing your eSuite update. And, if you're paid as double this month or last month and you want to see that triple, there's nothing like seeing your eSuite change from double diamond to paid as triple. There's nothing like it. I can guarantee you there's nothing like it, even like a diamond to double. And it's just super amazing when that happens. So, as far as like what we did to make it happen, you guys, we went after it with a fury. We messaged, we prayed. There was a lot of prayer going up. We messaged, we prayed, we talked to everybody. I talked to, because at this point I was in the business for a year, and I talked to people that I talked to like my first week, and I was like, hey, like, I know we talked about you being a distributor in the past. What would you think about being a product model for me? I mean, distributors that have gone cold, I use them as PLCs and people that signed up as a loyal customer. And then maybe like later on had that conversation about them earning money with the business, because we were charted at that point. So give me a second. I had my heater going on. I'm like starting to sweat. I'm getting all excited. Okay. Woo. Okay. Woo. All right. So yeah, so it was just amazing, like, sense of just unity, and all of us just came together. And when those promotions started coming in, it was just fire. It was so much fire. And we had more volume come in the next month, and more people promote the next month. So, just believe that you're going to make it happen, and do everything in your power to make it happen. I stayed up late. Like, I sacrificed sleep. I sacrificed everything that was non-income producing. I did. I was making it happen, because when I saw that paycheck, because my husband, he earned a bonus, so we were both paid as double. And when we saw that amount come in March, it was astounding. It was so crazy. And I knew, it's like, we made this happen. Like, I believed it. I helped my team believe it. We all made it happen. And just seeing the outpouring of excitement that happened in that month was just unbelievable. So
I love that. So whenever you were like, what was like the nitty gritty like work that you were doing, to bring in that volume?
we were messaging everybody. I think I messaged every single person on my Facebook. And I honestly, like, I'm the type of person where how people perceive me and how people look at me, like, weighs heavily on my shoulders. Okay. When I first started this business, doing something like this intimidated the crap out of me because I am so afraid of what people think of me. And I've kind of morphed and grown out of that mindset. And you'll have to do that, especially if you're wanting to promote. You have to grow out of that mindset of like being afraid of what somebody's going to think of you. I mean, I had so much crap happen. Like my first couple of months, I had people bashing me and all this kind of stuff. And I just kind of had to come to Jesus moment. And I was just like, people are going to have opinions of you no matter what. And I can't like make bank from opinions. So I'm just going to message as many people as possible. And I did. I messaged and messaged and I cold messaged. I cold messaged hardcore because this was before stories, you guys. This was before Host to Post was big. Okay. So we did all of it like organically. And it took a lot of work. It took a lot of sleepless nights, but we made it happen. And just seeing those orders come in and we upsold like as much as we possibly could. We were talking to somebody about, it was Thermofite back then, or Thermofit back then. Before it was Thermofite and Thermofite X, it was Thermofit back then. So we were, like upselling from Thermofit with the greens and the fat fighters. I mean, like every single conversation, it was that way. And we made it happen. And it was the nitty gritty, like, I had a lot of people like, not respond so nice, but I moved on. I let it go. I moved on. I was like, all right, that's not my person. Move on to the next person. And I had so many people. And the other thing too is like, you have to talk about it on your page, like on your Facebook page, like talk about it. And, if you're talking about it all month long, when it comes down to that last week and you're like, oh my gosh, like I need this amount of volume and you're asking people to support you, people are going to come out of the woodwork and support you because you've been talking about it all month long. They're seeing your vision. They're seeing where you're going. They're seeing your excitement and they want to help out with that. I mean, I've seen so many people like, their different businesses and they're like, guys, I need $400 like by the end of the night. And so many comments like, hey, how can I help? How can I help? And so we knew where we were going. The entire like social media presence knew where we were going, and we made a statement and we made our path and we just made it happen. So
I love how you said, talk about it on social media, where you're going, because that does like so many things for you guys. I remember I was a Ruby. Okay. I had like just gone Ruby and I wasn't talking about being a Ruby. I was talking about when I go diamond, when I get a $10,000 bonus, when I'm making $2,000 a month, it's going to do this. It's going to change this. I'm going to go here. Like I was talking about the things that I was going to be able to do. And guess what that did? Like even the people who talk crap about me, they were still watching because they're like, I want to see if she actually does this. Guess what? A lot of those people who were talking crap, just watching me, are now customers. Some of them have even signed on as distributors because they watch me put it out there. They watch me work my butt off for it. They watch me get it. And they're like, okay, I want to do it too. Okay. So be loud and proud about where you're going and, get that negative thought out of your head. Like that you're scared to put where you're going out there because somebody's going to say something bad about you. Like you guys, I had one of my best friends literally make a Facebook post saying, you're ruining the green heart emoji for me. Who else would that be about? Right? That was about me. I had people message me being like, do you really think you're going to make money with this? I just want to be like, look at me now. Like, what are you doing? Like, here I am. But, when you start sharing it and getting loud about it, because, looking back, I went triple last October. So not like this last October, but like last year. And, my Facebook memories, all my posts from that month are popping up. And I had a flow to how I posted. I would wake up in the morning and I would make my keto coffee and I would post something about being able to be home with my kids, drinking keto coffee. Okay. So it was kind of like a business keto coffee post all in one. The very next post was something that was like a filler post. So it didn't pertain to the business at all. The very next post I posted 3 times a day, every single day, the entire month of October. The third post that I posted was a before and after. I posted a before and after every single day, you guys. And I was keeping track of volume and I had that split up because, when we went to conference, somebody, or no, maybe it wasn't even, I had always Yeah, it was at conference, but I promoted before, so I don't know where I would have heard it. But people were always talking about, like, don't just, like, set your goal. Like, don't look at it as, like, oh, well, I have to sign customers, so I'm just going to shoot for, like, Fat Fighters or, like, a 30 BD product, because you're going to have to sign massive amounts of customers to reach your goals, okay? And so, like she was saying, upsell those products. And so, I wasn't, like, trying to just, like, 30 BD people. Like, I had, like, these big goals. And so when I would look and I would see, how much volume I needed, or this girl needs this much volume, or this box needs this much volume, I would add all that up and divide it by how much BV the triple threat or whatever was. And every single night I would say, I'm 15 triple threat orders away. And then the next night people would see, okay, I'm 12 away. Okay, I'm 8 away. And it came down to, like, the last 2 days of the month, you guys, where I had people who were mean to me in high school, who didn't support me in the business, like, since I had joined. They were sharing my post on their Facebook page. And they're like, y'all, she's working so hard for this. Like, help her out, okay? And it's like, people do care, but it's kind of like, speak words of life over your business and not words of death. Because if you're sitting there saying, nobody wants these products, nobody wants to join this business, and if that's the belief that you're putting into yourself, you're right. And that's what you're going to get. Nobody's going to buy your products. Nobody's going to join your business, because that's what you're speaking and that's what you're believing. But if you're sitting there and you're like, these products are amazing, like, this business is amazing. And even if you don't have before and afters, and even if you just joined the business, like, look at what it's done for other people. Look at what the products have done for other people. I have before and afters. Like, I've had 2 kids, and people were like, you don't look like you have any. I'm like, let me give you some keto coffee, chocolate greens, and thermophyte X. You want to cleanse too? Because that's what I use. Like, literally, like, get your hands on products, get your before and afters, give them to everybody. Look at what this business has done for other people. Talk about where it's going to take you, what it's going to do for you, and, like, just believe that it's going to happen. Like, it's literally that simple. And that's kind of like what I've been, like, preaching to my team lately, because it's just like, for me, it's like, I was charted for presidential back in February. I'm not presidential yet, right? But from February to now, I haven't actually believed that I was going pres, right? I've been doing the things, I've been charted, and I'm like, yeah, I'm going pres. But I haven't been like, I'm freaking going presidential diamond. Like, nothing is standing in my way. And that's the attitude that you have to have. And I'm not going pres this month. I know that I'm not, but I will be a presidential diamond by conference. So y'all can all come up to me at conference and be like, you freaking went VIP elite, because that's what I'm going to freaking do. Okay. And that was my goal last year. I was like, I don't care what I have to do, but I'm going to be VIP, and I'm going to be on that dang floor by conference. And that's what I did, you guys. And so I know that I have girls on my team who they're diamonds and they're wanting to go triple. I have doubles wanting to go triple. Like, even if you just got started and you're like, I want to go diamond, like, we're doing a 90-day push. And everybody, I was like, what's your goal? What's your goal? And people were like, Ruby. I was like, not accepted. Like, the lowest your goal can be is diamond, because in 90 days of committed, consistent work with this business, you can go diamond. It's what, 15 people, like 16 including you, and 8,000 volume. You guys, how much volume did you bring in 1 month? 40,000 in 1 month? Like,
30.
Yeah. So, like, why can't you bring in 8,000? Why can't you bring in 2,000? Why can't you bring in 5? You can. You just have to sit down and be like, okay, look at my chart. What do I need? 3 distributors, 2,000 volume. Go get it. Go get the people. Go get the volume. Okay, what's next? Enrolled. I've got 3 people. I need 9. I need 6 more distributors. Go get them. Okay? Literally, we overcomplicate this business because we do get intimidated by what we need. There's been sometimes, you guys, I don't even know how many distributors I need to be charted for presidential now, because I'm not looking at my presidential chart. I'm looking at, like, my girls promoting chart. And I'm like, okay, like, I just need to add all those numbers up. But, like, figure out what you need. Okay. Figure out the volume and just decide that you're going to do it and commit to the process. And I was actually listening, let me find it, to a podcast last night. Where'd it go? Ashley shared it. I've got to find it, because I was, like, literally blowing up my team with everything that it was saying. But conflict is confirmation. Okay. So, like, if you're, like, going for this promotion, and okay, I'm just going to, like, tell you, okay, so and most of you maybe heard my story. If not, like, you're about to hear it, but I was a double diamond, and I was trying to go triple. Okay. I wanted to go triple. I had my chart. I was doing the things, but I was in a very toxic marriage. Okay. And it was just holding me back. And that marriage actually turned physically abusive, and I was able to leave that because of this business. And the second that I did, I was able to just do all the things that I wanted to do in my business because I didn't have that negativity just always surrounding me. And so, like, now when I look back at it, I'm like, all of that conflict that I had to go through was confirmation that I was going in the right place, right? Like, I was in a valley, but I was learning and I was growing and I was like becoming a better version of myself. And look at what I did within my business. Like, literally in July, I left my marriage, bought my first car, got an apartment in August. So now I'm like a single mom living on my own for the first time. In September, my son was born. So now I'm a single mom to two. And then in October, I promoted to triple diamond. All of that in one of the craziest, biggest conflicts of my life. But that was just like, that conflict was confirmation I'm going in the right spot. And so this podcast was talking about, like, maybe, like, your life feels like it's crumbling, but you're probably moving in the right direction, okay? Instead of looking at it like, why is this happening to me? Flip it, and why is this happening for me? What am I supposed to learn from this? What am I supposed to take from this? And then take it and run. And then the next thing that they said, was process is progress. I was like, oh my gosh, that's golden. Like, process is progress. You're going to go through things. It's all a process. But if every single day, and for me, and I always tell my team this, like, and it's probably the same way for y'all, if y'all go to church, like, you're at church and it's like the sermon, you're just like feeling it for your life and like you're taking it in for what it is. But then it's also like you're relating it to your business. And you're like, oh my gosh, like, I have to share this with my team. And like, I literally do that most Sundays. I'll come home from church and I go live on my Facebook page and I'm like, I'm sharing my notes from today's sermon with y'all because it relates to this business and y'all need to hear it. But process is progress, planting seeds, sending hundreds of messages, getting told no, having people ghost you, having people block you, having people unfollow you. That's the process. But through that, you will find the people who want this business, right? And that's the progress, and I had a girl on my team today, she had signed a distributor who's already quitting. And I'm like, you're going to sign duds, okay? I have thousands of distributors in my downline, okay? And if all 1,000 of them worked, I would be an ambassador diamond by now, right? But they don't. And that's the process. But me, like, kind of weeding through those people who don't work, that's also the progress, okay? So I don't know. I feel like that's all we really had. I just wanted y'all, like, to, I was in here this morning and I was sitting down and I was like going over like goals with, my girls and stuff. And I was just like, we need to do a Zoom over like massive volume and just like belief and like how to get it done, because it is honestly just a decision. I know Ashley Mayfield has said that multiple times, like, how, didn't she go from like double to ambassador like crazy quick or something? Like, and when people are like, how did you do it? She's like, well, I just decided. And it's as simple as that. When you make a decision to do something and when you're passionate about it, nothing can stand in your way, you guys. Okay, look at what I went through. Look at what she went through. Like, we've all gone through life. We're all going to go through life. But if you let that circumstance define you and defeat you, then that's on you, because this business is always going to be there for you. And I always tell everybody this business is the one thing that you control 100%. Nobody can take it away from you. Nobody's going to do it for you. Your downline's not going to do it for you. Your upline's not going to do it for you. Your sideline's not going to do it for you. You're going to have to do it for you. And you're going to have to make that decision to show up, and not just show up like in a little way, like show up in a big way and be intentional with your work. Okay. And if you're doing those things, we're all going to go ambassador. We're all going to be on the dang floor in VIP. Okay. So I hope that y'all took something from this. If y'all have any questions, I'm going to stop the recording.